Hi there. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch this urgent update. In the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to let you in on a little known event that's guaranteed to happen later this year that will affect your winery's email marketing efforts. It's called the Great Gmail Purge of 2023. In today's training, I'll also reveal the 4 steps that your winery needs to take today to avoid the devastating consequences of this event. Hi, I'm Scott Hartley, marketing strategist, automation architect, and author of the book titled Hit the Inbox: How to Avoid the Spam Folder and Grow Your Business with Email Marketing. My mission is to help small business owners get more of their emails delivered and seen so they can get more sales. When Google announced the Great Gmail Purge of 2023, and I understood the ramifications of what it will mean for wineries like yours, I knew that I had a duty to get the word out. So let's dive in and find out what this Great Gmail Purge really is. So it's supposed to begin on December the 1st of this year. At least that's when Google announced that they were going to start it. However, some signs indicate that Google has already begun the process of the purge. Now, what do I mean by the purge? Well, you probably know a lot of people that have at gmail.com addresses. You probably have one or two or a dozen yourself, right? Some of those get created and then people abandon them for whatever reason. They stop using them and then they go create another free email account. Well, obviously, from a business perspective, that costs Google a lot of money because it takes up space on their email servers. And so, from a business perspective, it makes really good sense that all of these abandoned and unused accounts, they no longer need to be taking up that valuable space that they have. And so, what they've decided to do is that starting December the 1st, any gmail.com accounts that have not been accessed or used in over 2 years are going to be permanently deleted. Nobody's logging into them. There's no reason for them to be there. Clear up the space off of their servers. However, from a business perspective, that makes great sense. But we also know that Google is really trying to prevent a lot of spam. And they're doing a lot of things in their power to shut the spammers and the hackers down. And I think that this purge is also a way for them to find out who the real spammers really are. And that leads me into my second point here: how this is going to affect you as a winery who does email marketing. So let's say that the purge starts on December the 1st, and let's say on December the 3rd, you send out a broadcast email to your list, all right? And Google has already purged a bunch of gmail.com addresses, and you've got some on your list. So when you send an email out and it happens to go to one of those purged email addresses, it's going to hard bounce. It's not going to be delivered because that email address no longer exists. And that's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Here's where it becomes a problem. When you have too many hard bounces, that's going to flag you as a spammer, because what Google's going to be looking at is like, oh, they have a large number of hard bounces. That's the exact behavior that spammers have. They're just blasting out hundreds, thousands of emails, and they're not paying attention to which email addresses no longer exist. They've not been paying attention to who's been opening or clicking on emails in the past. And so they continue to email them. They don't get them off of their list. And that's exactly what spammers do. And so that too many hard bounces is going to flag you as that spammer. So let's put this into some real numbers. Let's say that you have a total of 1,000 contacts on your list. 500 of those are gmail.com email addresses, all right? And let's say that 20% of those, 100 of them, are part of the Great Gmail Purge. So you email your entire list of 1,000 contacts, it goes to 500 Gmail addresses, and 100 of those bounce. Google's going to say, wait a minute, this winery is a spammer because they just sent 100 emails that have bounced, and they've been going to email addresses that haven't been opening or accessing an account in 2 years. They should have been monitoring and managing their list. So what Google's going to do is they're going to mete out a bunch of penalties, and these penalties can be really, really harsh. First, they will penalize your domain reputation. Just like you have a personal reputation with people who know you, people who have maybe heard about you, your domain has a reputation with Google. And the more positive engagements that your recipients have with your emails, the higher your domain reputation is. The better, the more positive the score. However, when bad things happen, when you have a bunch of hard bounces, when you have spam complaints, that dings your domain reputation and brings it lower. All right. So they're going to penalize your domain reputation. Secondly, there's a very high likelihood that even though you might have a good number of valid gmail.com addresses on your list, because you've had too many hard bounces, Gmail may say, you know what, we're going to send all of your future emails straight to the spam folder. Nope, we're not going to put them into the inbox. They're going to go straight to spam. Well, that's going to cause you a lot of problems. First off, fixing this is going to take you months, maybe even years. Think back to high school. Maybe you had an A or a B in a class, all right, a really good grade. And then there was that one test or quiz that you didn't study for and you got an F. Boy, that A or B in that class plummeted down to a C, a D, or maybe an F. And just think how long it took to get your grade back up to an acceptable level where your parents were happy with you. The same with your email domain reputation. You could be up here at the highest level right now, and when you get dinged, boom, it goes down to the very bottom. And you have to claw your way back up in order to get a positive domain reputation. And that takes time. It also takes money. It could cost you hundreds or maybe even thousands of dollars to repair your domain reputation. I'm working with a couple of clients right now that I've been working with them for about 6 months, and we're starting to make some progress, but we still have a long ways to go. More importantly, though, it's going to cost you in your bottom line. You're going to lose thousands of dollars in sales because if your emails don't get delivered to the inbox, people aren't going to see them. They're not going to know about the events that you have coming up. They're not going to know about the specials that you're running. They're not going to know about the new releases that you have. And they're not going to buy them. They're not going to sign up for anything because they haven't seen your emails. And that's going to cost you thousands of dollars that you could have easily captured had you taken some proactive actions. Now, I talked about earlier that we were picking some random numbers about, maybe you have a list of 1,000 and 500 of those are gmail.com addresses. I really wasn't picking those numbers out of thin air. So my colleague Mark with DTC Wine Marketing Heroes, a while back, he analyzed the email address list of 262 North American wineries. And here's what he found. He found that their list, on average, contained 44% gmail.com addresses. So you can look on this chart right here. So you can see we have a 42%. Here's a list that had 52% of their contacts were Gmail addresses. This one had 39%. The lowest was 29% on this list. You can see a good number were in the 30, 40, and 50% range. So it's very likely that your list is very similar. At least a third are probably gmail.com addresses, maybe even up to 50% or maybe just a bit over. That's why this is so important, because your email list is going to be affected by the Great Gmail Purge of 2023. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this training, right? What are the 4 things that you can do today to help get set up for the Great Gmail Purge? And that way you're not negatively affected by it. So step number 1, this one's super simple. In your marketing system, go do a search for all gmail.com addresses. Just identify who are the contacts that I have that have gmail.com addresses. Awesome. Now, step number 2, this could be a little bit more difficult to do in most marketing systems, but out of all of your gmail.com addresses, Now identify which ones of those have not engaged with an email in more than 90 days. Now, by engagement, I mean that they haven't opened or they haven't clicked on an email in more than 90 days. Find out who they are. Step number 3, now that you have that list of all of those unengaged Gmail contacts, you need to run them through a re-engagement campaign. And the goal of that re-engagement campaign is to get them to click on a link in your emails. All right. Now, I recommend that your re-engagement campaign send at least 3 emails. All right. No less than 3. Every single one of those emails should be designed to get them to get out of their inbox and get over to someplace on the web. So they need to click a link. All right. Opens are not a good measure of engagement for a myriad of reasons that I'm not going to go into here. We need to get them to click a link. So maybe you record a video and you include the link to the video so that they have to go to your website and watch it. Maybe you give them a coupon that they can use in your shopping cart. And so they can go buy some wine and they can get a discount off of that. Maybe you've got some news that you really want to share. And so you post it in a blog on your website. And in order for them to find out what that breaking news is, they have to click the link to go read it. Whatever that it is, get them to click on a link. That's going to guarantee that they are engaging with your emails. Now, step number 4 is the most important and the most difficult step to take. Opt out all of your contacts who do not re-engage from your re-engagement campaign. So many times when I recommend that people do this, they say, but Scott, I've got so many people on my list and I don't want to get rid of them because they might buy something from me in the future. Here's the honest truth. If they haven't opened or clicked on an email in 90 days or more, the likelihood, the point of no return has already passed. They're probably not likely to open or click on an email in the next 90 days or the next year. And it's actually hurting you by continuing to send to them. And here's the thing. If you don't opt out these Gmail contacts who don't re-engage, you will be penalized by Google when you continue to email them. Now, you can leave them in your database. That's fine. But you need to opt them out so that you can never email them again unless they opt back in. All right? So that's an important step. The pruning process is critically important. To tell you the truth, I could kill a potted plant. I do not have a green thumb. But my friends who have blossoming flower gardens, who have great gardens that produce a lot of fruits and vegetables, they all tell me that the pruning process is just as important as the watering and the fertilizing, because you've got to get rid of the dead stuff off of the plants in order for them to be able to continue to grow. The same with our email list. We have to prune away the contacts who aren't opening and clicking on our emails so that the ones that we send that go to the people who do want to receive them have a better chance to get them, to see them, and to buy from them. So step number 4, opting out of your contacts who don't re-engage is critically important. This is it. These are the only 4 steps that you need to take, but you need to do it today. This must be complete by December the 1st. And actually, the sooner that you get this done, the better off that you are, right? And again, in your marketing system, you can do this. Now, step number 2, as I mentioned before, is probably going to be very difficult because most marketing platforms, MailChimp, Keep, ActiveCampaign, they don't easily tell you, hey, these contacts haven't been engaging with your emails. And they don't give you easy reports that you can look up and find out that information. But you can dig, and it might take you several hours to figure that out, but you can do this on your own. However, I want to give you an option. I want to be able to give you some expert help. I've developed a system where we can quickly identify not only your gmail.com contacts, but also the ones who need to be re-engaged. All right? We can take care of all of that for you. Additionally, I can show you how to build a proper re-engagement automation in your MailChimp account that follows the exact process that I laid out earlier, and that's going to give you a highest likelihood of getting people to re-engage with your emails. And then, if you want, I can basically do it all with you. So there's a few pieces that I will need from you, some things I'll need from you, but I can do all of the heavy lifting. Depends on how much help that you need. So again, you don't have to work with me. I just want to give you the option that I can help you get this done quickly and correctly. But if you want to do this all on your own, by all means, you know exactly the 4 steps that you need to do it. If you want my help, you can go to this website that's on your screen, dtcwinemarketingheroes.com/Gmail. And you'll see on that page options to where we can help you fix your list in MailChimp. Now, if you are using other marketing software or you have other questions, feel free to email me at support@masterplan, the number 4, success.com. The email address is there on your screen. So we can help you if you're using MailChimp, if you're using Keep, if you're using ActiveCampaign, if you're using some other marketing software, I can give you some guidance and some direction potentially. Feel free to reach out to me. But if you want to get in on this, go to dtcwinemarketingheroes.com/Gmail, and you'll be able to see the 2 options that we have available there for you. We have a guided do-it-yourself, where I give you all the resources that you need to show you exactly what needs to be done, or we have a done with you option where I can help you one-on-one to get this taken care of. Whatever your decision, please do something, because this is going to be very catastrophic for all the wineries and all of the email marketers who choose to ignore this warning, because the Great Gmail Purge is guaranteed to happen starting in December. The consequences are guaranteed to be meted out by Google. Only you can choose to avoid those. And again, those 4 steps, that's all it takes. The 4 steps to avoid the pain and the frustration of being a victim of the Great Gmail Purge. So go to the website there that's listed on the slide. If you have any questions, send me an email at the address on the slide and be happy to help you however that I can.